There's been a deadly development in the near month-long standoff at a wildlife refuge in Oregon in the United States. One person's been confirmed killed after a shootout, and the leader of the armed group has been arrested along with 7 others. They're now facing charges of conspiracy to obstruct police. The exchange of gunfire reportedly took place on a highway, not at the facility where the group has been holed up since the beginning of the month. As the days rolled on, the armed militia attracted nationwide support.
Statements are not good enough. I want the federal government to abide by the Constitution of the United States.
Really, you need to pick a side because this is really good and evil. Pick a side, dig in, take a stand, or you'll be struck down.
My name's Scotty Wills. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. This is in no way an armed militia movement to just rise up against the federal government. That's the biggest bunch of nonsense that anybody ever heard in their life. Thank you.
Brandon Dowd. I'm here to support them and stand up for my God-given rights and the universal law of do no harm but take no shit.
Well, until events took a turn on Tuesday, the standoff had been largely peaceful. The armed group stormed the federal refuge in protest of what they called the unlawful arrest of 2 ranchers. The militia's demands then grew into calls for federal land reform across the United States. Journalist Tim Neville, who's in Oregon, described the situation at the compound.
So as I understand it right now, there are still people at the refuge, in the buildings there, based on the number of people who are there, and people have left and come on, but it's at least a dozen, maybe even as many as 30. And the people there are obviously aware of what's going on, and so they have said that they are ready to, defend, a peaceful resolution, whatever that means. Hopefully everybody will just realize that this was an exercise, they've made their point, and now it's time for justice to kind of come into play.
And it's not over yet. The standoff's now entering its 25th day. Exclusive footage from inside the occupied facility shows how the protesters have been surviving.
And this right here, this room where you guys have supplies, was a weight room.
It was a weight room. We changed it because it was snowing yesterday. We brought some dining tables in. There's some onions.
What is this? What are we looking
Potatoes.
at?
Look.
These were given to you guys?
Yeah. Potatoes.
And have you got a lot of people that have donated things and supported you guys?
Everything you just filmed is donations.
Okay.
We do have a nation in distress. People are afraid to speak up and speak out.
I mean, you guys are doing this protest. This is a protest, and it's a statement.
What is the solution?
Yeah.
Nationally, everybody needs to start standing up and saying, no, this is our country, this is our land, this is our government, and we're tired of the way it's being run. And people need to stop. It's either stand up or give up.
Yeah.
And it's time to stand up.
As well as those supplies, most of the militiamen have also been openly carrying various firearms. Investigative journalist Aaron Gupta, who's inside the compound, says they're ready to pay the ultimate price to protect their rights.
The reason I'm looking around is because there are people wandering around, militia members. What I've seen is a lot of them are armed. They're carrying all sorts of weapons, handguns, shotguns, semi-automatic rifles, and those are just the ones that are carried openly. A number of people have also told me that they're willing to die. So yeah, when they're saying they're just patriots fighting for their constitutional freedom, that's true, but you have to understand what they mean by that. In terms of the Constitution, they have a very radical interpretation, and they essentially want to abolish the federal government.